Hi guys, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Can. Alright. So we wait another 1 minute for others to come in. Okay, and then we will start with the discussion of past year question. So we will start with the past year question on May 2024 examination. So last semester. Okay, and then after we done with this past year question, so we will discuss only section A today, and then we will proceed with the discussion on May examination on 2023 last year exam. Okay, on January 2023 semester. Okay, so let's begin our discussion. So as mentioned in the channel, I will discuss only section A for today. Okay, so we'll start with the May 2024 examination last semester. So I hope that most of you already download this past year question lah. Alright, so we directly go, before we go to the section A, alright, so you can see that in the past year question, okay, right, it's mentioned the instruction, okay, and then you can see that the table that provided to you is exactly same with what I provided to you in the classes. Okay, so all the table is actually the same lah, right? Either you know how to use it or not only lah. Okay, alright, so you can see that this is a same table that I provided to you. We have a capital allowance, we have the income tax rate for the company, income tax rate for the individual, and then we have the basic tax relief for the individual, tax rebate amount, okay, BIK table, right, for you to refer lah when you answer the question. Alright, so now we go for the section A. Okay, we have question number 1. Okay, for section A, alright, of course, only one question, but the amount of the marks, the amount of the marks of the section A, right, is consists of 40 marks. Okay, so in question section A, question 1A, alright, you will be awarded with the 32 marks, and then question 1B in section A awarded with the 8 marks. So total, right, is 40 marks lah. Right, so as mentioned previously in the discussion on tutorial 9 before, you can see that the requirement of the question is actually the same, okay, for the tax computation for the company. You have to compute the income tax payable, if any, for the company name here is Mimpi Kita Senyap Berhad for the year assessment 2023. Okay, that one is question number 1A, contain of 32 marks, and then the balance of the marks come from the explanation of the treatment for the item in notes 10 and note 11. Right, so now I only discuss with you the item, and then you have to key in or record the transaction by yourself lah later, right, to check whether your calculation is correct or not. Alright, so we have Mimpi Kita Senyap Berhad. They are involved in the business manufactured the contemporary furniture. So this is their main business, manufactured the contemporary furniture. Right, so everything related to the contemporary furniture, we consider that incurred in the production of the gross profit. Okay, right, and then second thing, when you read the question, in order to make the adjustment for the item to get the chargeable income, secondly, you have to know the production period lah for the company. So this company accounting period is follow the calendar year, normal calendar year, right? So their accounting period begin on 1st January 2023 and then ended on 31st December 2023. So this is year assessment that we will check whether they have to make adjustment for the item that mentioned in the notes to the account. Right, and then of course when you have the company, they will provide to you with the statement of comprehensive income lah. So in the statement of comprehensive income provided to you, we have sales minus cost of sale, you get the gross profit, added income minus expenses, then you get the net profit before taxation. Okay, so this is the net profit before taxation. So you will start with this amount to make the adjustment lah. Okay, anything income you already add in the SOCI, in arriving of net profit before taxation, and then all the expenses you already minus in the SOCI in order to get the net profit before taxation. Okay, so all the amount that you already record in SOCI, this is the result. Okay, 2,879,490 ringgit. So this is the result that you record the income and the expenses. So that's why when you make the tax computation for the company, we will start with the net profit before taxation. To know, you have to plus back the amount, or you have to minus the amount, or you don't have to make any more adjustment, right? And then in the statement of comprehensive income, you can see that all the transactions starting from the sales until the lease charges, all given to you the notes to the account. Okay, you can see that from the sales item until the lease charges, all have the notes to the account, except for the loss on the sales of the long-term investment. They don't give you any notes here. Okay, they don't give you any notes here. So, is it you have to ignore the transaction, or you have to make the adjustment? Okay, so if you can see back in the requirement of the question, requirement of the question is mentioned that every item mentioned in the notes to the account must be listed in your computation irrespective whether an adjustment is necessary. Where there is no adjustment is required, indicate nil in the appropriate column. So this is mentioned about the item that appear in the notes to the account. Even though you don't have any adjustment, you have to record with a nil. However, we now referring to the statement of comprehensive income, or SOCI. Kan? So this item, loss on sale of the long investment, okay, they don't give you any notes. So we have to ignore, or you have to make the adjustment. Okay, how to record, or you will just ignore the transaction loss on sales of the long-term investment, even though they don't give you notes to the account. But we know that the loss on the sales on the long-term investment have an issue. Can have an issue. Why? Because these expenses is related to the asset. Okay, so in the taxation, asset is considered as a capital expenditure. If capital expenditure not listed in any specific section, we can declare that these expenses is not allowed for the deduction. So 4,540 ringgit that you already deduct in SOCI not allowed for deduction in the taxation. So we have to plus back the amount 4,540 ringgit in the tax computation. So in the plus column, you have to add it back lah, 4540. Okay, so that one is the first item that you have to make the adjustment. Okay, and then, right, so after we settle this transaction, so we go back to the first note to the account, which is for the sales amount. So in SOCI, you already added this amount, 20,569,780 ringgit. Okay, so from this amount, okay, in the notes number 1, it's mentioned that the account clerk failed to enter sum of 452,950 ringgit received on 30th December 2023 from the sales of the various types of furniture to the Spring Hill Hotel into the sales account. Okay, so what does it mean? What does it mean? The company, Mimpi Kita Sdn Bhd, okay, they make a sales, but they forget to deduct but they forget to record the amount. They sell the goods to the Spring Hill Hotel, but they forget to record the transaction amounted to 4,522,950 ringgit. They forget to add it together in the total of the 20,569,780. They make already the sales on 30th December 2023. Kan? So when they make the sales on 30th December 2023, so this is still in the year assessment 2023. The accounting period ended on 31st December 2023. So when you make the sales on 30th December 2023, the amount, it should be added together with the amount of the sale. But the clerk forget to edit this amount. Alright, forget to edit this amount together with the total amount of the sale. So what we have to do, we have to record as a new transaction lah. Okay, we have to record as a new transaction. So we know that when you make the sales to the company, the other company, which is Spring Hill Hotel, we know that this transaction is related to the production. You sell your product to the Spring Hill Hotel. So of course, this transaction is related to the production. So when this transaction related to the production, so this is considered the revenue received lah. You sell the goods, so you get the revenue. So this is revenue received. In the taxation, revenue received is a subject to the tax. But you have to know that this transaction not yet appear in the SOCI. Okay, 452,950 not yet appear in the SOCI. Okay, omitted from the books. So you have to record as a new transaction. You have to edit back 452,950 ringgit in the adjustment. Right, that one's the number one. Number two, we have a cost of sale. We already minus in the SOCI 11,589,560 ringgit. So we see the detail what the question provided to you in the notes number two. Okay, so in the note number two, it's mentioned that the company include the 430 ringgit, the received amount from a local insurance company for the recovery of the stock loss during the import from China in the total of the cost of sale. Okay, the company already included 123,430, the amount that the company received from the local insurance company due to the stock loss during the import from the China. Okay, so the company claimed back the insurance amount from the insurance company because when they import the stock from China, the stock loss. Okay, so they claim back the amount 123,430 ringgit. So the amount 123,430 ringgit already including, already including in the total amount of the cost of sale 11,589,560 ringgit. You already include 123,430 in the total of the cost of sale. So we know that this is the revenue received. Insurance recovery in the taxation is revenue received. The amount is subject to the tax. However, the amount is already included in the cost of sale. So in the taxation, we don't have to make any more adjustment. Okay, because the amount is already included in the cost of sale and the amount is already added up in the net profit before taxation. So in our adjustment, we just record with the nil to present that no further adjustment. If you look at one more time, you will tax 2 times for 123,430 ringgit. So enough to record as a nil to present that the amount is already included in the total of net profit before taxation. Okay, second item that listed in the notes number 2. However, alright, it excluded 79,430 ringgit premium payment made to the same insurance company for the imported stock from Vietnam. Okay, the company made the payment for the insurance to protect the stock that they want to import from Vietnam, but the company not yet include the amount in the total of cost of sale. Okay, so the company, alright, paid the amount of insurance to protect their stock, but they not yet record 79,430 in the total of the cost of sale. So you have to record as a new transaction. Okay, record as a new transaction because this amount is omitted from the total of the cost of sale. Okay, so when you make the payment of the insurance to protect the stock that you import from Vietnam, this is actually revenue expenditure normal expenditure because you paid for the stock that you want to use in the business. So this is revenue expenditure. So when it's a revenue expenditure, of course, right, if not listed under prohibited direction section 39 subsection 1, then it will be allowed for the deduction. Okay, so since this transaction is a new transaction, you not record anywhere, yeah. So in our adjustment, we have to minus the amount. Okay, you have to record the amount in the minus column, 79,430, because this is a new transaction, not yet appear in the SOCI. Okay, right, that one is the number 2 for the cost of sale, the item that listed under the cost of sale. Okay, now we go for the number 3. We have other revenue. So other revenue, right? We have include, or we have added the amount, the other revenue in the label of other revenue, 136,390. So we see the detail for the other revenue. So in the other revenue, the amount is comprised of 4 items. One is the income from interest, okay, that the company received due to the debtors delay the payment, 12,320 ringgit. Second item come from the interest that they earn from the deposit that they place in public bank, 8,390 ringgit. And then third item is the company receive the rental income from the property that they own in the Klang area. Okay, so this property not provided maintenance and support services actively and fully, and they're not provided actively and comprehensively to their tenant. Right, so 120,000 ringgit. And then fourth item that the company added together in the total other income is foreign exchange loss resulting from the sales of the equipment that has not been realized, 4,320. So when you added out all the amount here, you will get the amount of 136,390 ringgit. Okay, so we will start one by one. Okay, so we have 4 items. Right, so from these 4 items that the question listed to you, 3 of the item, okay, that the question listed to you is the item or the income not related to the production. Okay, how we know that these 3 income here, 1, 2, 3, not related to the production? Okay, how we know that these 3 income is not related to production? Because, okay, you receive the interest from the trade payable, trade debtor that make the late payment. So it's out of the production period as already. So this income be considered not anymore related to production, but we have to access it separately under section 4 subsection C later. Okay, so at the adjusted business income level, we have to minus out the amount. Okay, we have to minus out the amount for the 12,320 for the interest income that the company received from the debtors due to the late payment. Okay, same goes for the second item, interest earned from the fixed deposit that placed in the public bank. So this income also not related to the production, but this income is more on the passive source income for the investment purpose. So the company put the money as a fixed deposit in public bank, then later on they get the interest. So this income is not related to production, but is more on the passive source income. So at the adjusted business income level, this income will be assessed separately. You have to minus out 8,390 ringgit and will be recorded again under section 4 subsection C as well. Okay, third item, income from renting out a property in the Klang area where maintenance and support services are not actively and provided and fully rendered. Okay, so this income also show that the company receive 120,000 ringgit for the passive source income, not related to the production. Remember that the company is producing contemporary furniture. So when they receive the rental income from the property that they own in the Klang, this income is not related to the production of the producing the contemporary furniture. So at the adjusted business income level, same, you have to minus out the amount. And it will be recorded again under the class of income, section 4, subsection D. Okay, section 4, subsection D. Right, so at the adjusted business income level, so all of this income will be minus out. Okay, will be minus out, and it will be recorded again either you class under section 4 subsection C or section 4 subsection D. Okay, right. After you get the amount of section 4A, then you will add it again lah under section 4C or section 4 subsection D. Okay, another one item that listed under the notes to the account number 3, we have foreign exchange loss. Okay, foreign exchange loss. Right, foreign exchange loss resulting from the disposal of the equipment that has not yet been realized. So you realize or not, this amount is actually the losses. You added together in the other revenue. So it's supposedly when you added up the amount 12,320, 8390, 120,000 minus 4,320. That's why you can get back the amount 136. Okay, 136. How much now? 136, 390. Okay, so come from this amount lah. Alright, so we go back to the fourth item in the notes number 3. We have foreign exchange loss resulting from the sales of the equipment that has not yet been realized. So this is actually expenditure. When they said losses, this is actually expenditure. Okay, losses is expenditure. But is it this expenditure is related to revenue expenditure or capital expenditure? Okay, it obviously stated in the question that the company received the foreign exchange loss related to the disposal of the equipment. So of course, these expenses is categorized as capital expenditure. So if the capital expenditure is not listed in any specific section, thus this amount is not allowed for the deduction. Okay, so 4,320 will be added back because in SOCI, you already deduct this amount, but in the taxation, this item is categorized as capital expenditure and not listed in any of specific section, so we can conclude that this amount is not allowed for deduction in the taxation. So we added back 4,320. Okay, right, that one's for number 3. Okay, and then number 4, what we have? We go for the number 4. Note number 4 is the expenses, operating expenses. So you have 838,423,000 ringgit. So we see the detail what we have in the number 4. Okay, number 4 we have 83. Okay, 838,423,000 ringgit. So number 4 we have 1, 2, 3 item. Okay, we have 3 item. Number 4(1), number 4(2), number 4(3). Okay, alright. So we settle one item by one item. So we look at the number 4(1). You already deduct the amount of the operating expenses 838,423. So including in 838,423 ringgit, you have to check number 1, number 4(1), number 4(2), and number 4(3). So they give the detail for each of the item that listed in the source sheet. Right. So we look at the number 4(1). Right, it's mentioned that a total of 178,500 ringgit with 67,700 ringgit spent on the extension cost of the storeroom, and the remaining amount designated for the laboratory renovation for the disabled employee. So they said that the total of 178,500 ringgit consists of 2 items. Come from the extension of the storeroom, and then the remaining amount is for the expenses for the renovation of the lavatory to assist the disabled employee. Okay, right. So you have the total 178,500 ringgit. Okay, so from the total amount 178,500 ringgit, okay, 67,700 ringgit, okay, right, is one of the amount, and the balance come from the renovation of the lavatory. Right, so the question now, how much is the amount of the lavatory renovation cost for the disabled staff? How much? Anyone can show me the calculation? How much the amount? Deduct back lah. 178,500 minus 67,700 ringgit. So the amount of the cost that you make, that the company make for the lavatory renovation is 110,800 ringgit. Kan, because you say that remaining, so you have to find by yourself lah the amount. Okay, now after you know the amount of the extension storeroom and the lavatory renovation for this able employee, now we have to check whether you have to make adjustment or not for these two items. Okay, so extension of the storeroom, so the key point is there already. Extension. So when you make extension of the storeroom, so this is you added the value to the existing asset. So this item is categorized as a capital expenditure. 67,700 ringgit already appear in Soci, which means that the amount is already deducted in the arriving of the net profit before taxation. But in the taxation, since this item is capital expenditure, is not listed in any of specific section, thus the amount is not allowed for the deduction. So 67,700 ringgit will be added back. Okay, will be added back. And the remaining of the amount that the company spent for the lavatory renovation, which is 110,800 ringgit, right, is for the lavatory renovation for the disabled employee, which is supposedly these expenses is capital expenditure. At the beginning stage, this item is not allowed for the deduction. However, right, when you make the renovation of the building in order to assist the disabled employee, so these expenses is listed under specific section, section 34, subsection 6, subsection E, thus the amount is allowed for the deduction. So no further adjustment needed for this item, which is recorded as a nil to present that the amount is allowed for deduction in the Soci. Okay, number 1. Okay, the item for number 4 too. Okay, we have another item that the company include together under the operating expenses. We have the rental expenses. Okay, so in the operating expenses total amount, they include the showroom rental expenses together. Okay, the amount of the showroom rental expenses is 50,000 ringgit, where the company paid this rental for the 4 months commencing on the 16 October 2023. Okay, so they make a start payment 16 October 2023. So if you look at back what I explained to you in the tutorial class, you understand that the company make the payment for the rental for 4 months, but they start make a payment in the middle of the month. Okay, so when they make a payment in the middle of the month, okay, so the amount that the company paid will be exceed the year assessment 2023. The company also make a payment for the rental in the year assessment 2024. Alright, so after you check back, alright, so the payment of the rental, first payment on the first month, second payment, third payment, and the fourth payment, you know that half of the payment of the rental in the year assessment 2023, half of the payment of the rental in the year assessment 2024. The fourth payment totally the rental for the year assessment 2024. Okay, that's why I write here 1.5 month of the rental that the company paid 50,000 ringgit is not for the year assessment 2023. Okay, right, so we have to edit back these rental expenses that the company paid because these expenses not belong for the year assessment 2023. But the question now, how much is the amount that the company make the payment for this 1.5 month? Okay, so the company already mentioned here that the company paid 50,000 for the rental for 4 months. So we divide je lah for 4 months. And 50,000 divided for 4 months. So which means that 1 month they will pay 12,500 ringgit. Each month they will pay 12,500 ringgit. Okay, and we already checking just now that the company make a payment for the rental, all right, until the year assessment 2024, which is 1.5 month of the rental that the company made in 2024. So, right, since we already know that this amount for the 2024 is not allowed for deduction, so we just time lah 12,500 ringgit time 1.5 month. So the amount that you get here will be added back. Okay, so this one is a totally similar with the tutorial question. Okay, this question for number 4 too is similar, right, with the question in the tutorial question. Okay, right, it's totally similar with the tutorial question. Right, so number 4, 2. Now we go for number 4, 3. We have another one item that you total up together under the level of operating expenses. Okay, right, so we have a total of 184,900 ringgit with 57,900 ringgit allocated for the depreciation of the machinery. Okay, and the remaining amount spent on the upkeep machinery with the updated technology. So we already mentioned that we have total of 184,900 ringgit. From this total, we have two expenses. One is the depreciation, 57,900 ringgit, and the remaining is the amount that the company spent for the upkeep machinery, right, for the updated technology. Right, so how much is actually the amount of the upkeep machinery for the updated technology? So deduct je lah, right? So 184,900 ringgit minus 57,900 ringgit. So you should get 127,000 ringgit. And 127,000 ringgit, right? And then, so after you already know the item or the amount of each of the item, so we check je lah whether we have to make the adjustment or not, right? So depreciation, we already deduct in SOCI, but in the taxation, we know that the depreciation is only estimated amount, not allowed for deduction. So 57,900 ringgit will be added back. Okay, will be added back. And then for the upkeep machinery, the key point is there already, update technology. When update technology, this is automatically considered as a capital expenditure. You make the improvement. Okay, you make the improvement. Right, so when you make the improvement, you added the value to the existing asset. So these expenses also not allowed for deduction. You have to add back the item 127,000 ringgit. Okay, that is a number 4. So we already done for the number 4 for the operating expenses. Okay, total that the company deduct for the operating expenses is 423,000, but including in this amount, right, the company listed to you 3 different of the expenses that they total up together lah. Okay, alright. So this is how you have to understand the question lah. Okay, number 4. Now we go for number 5. Okay, number 5 we have salary and allowances. The company already deduct in the SOCI 4,257,895,000 ringgit. So we see the detail what the company and the question listed to you for the salary and allowances. So the question listed to you 3 item. Okay, in number 5. Number 5.1, number 5.2, number 5.3. So each of the number 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 have a different question or different amount. So we have to check one by one whether you have to make the adjustment or not. Okay, so we go for the number 5.1, salary allowance for number 5.1. So they said that total staff pay that the company paid during the period is 1,989,000 ringgit 550 ringgit. From this amount, okay, 289,000 the company paid to the registered disabled employee. and the balance is the amount that the company paid to the employees and also the directors. Okay, total of the salary is 1,989,540. From this amount, 289,000 paid the salary to the disabled staff. The balance here is the payment of the salary to the employees and the directors. Okay, so you deduct lah 1,989,540 minus 289,000 ringgit to get the amount of the salary payment for the employees and director. So you can get lah the amount directly. Okay, now after you get the amount of the salary, okay, so we check whether you have to make adjustment or not. So we know that when the company hired the disabled staff and then you pay the salary to them, so they are the payment is actually revenue expenditure, but the company entitled for the double deduction. When you hired the disabled staff, yes, this is revenue expenditure, but the company entitled for the double deduction. So 289,000 ringgit will be minus once again in the tax computation. Okay, alright. And then another one item, the payment of the salary to the employees and the director. So this is normal expenses. Okay, when it's normal, which means that this is the revenue expenditure allowed for deduction. So there is no more adjustment needed because this amount is already appeared in SOCI and already deduct the amount in arriving of net profit before taxation. Okay, now we done for the 5.1. So now we go for the 5.2. 5.2. The company make the payment for the entertainment allowances. Okay, the company make the entertainment for the allowances, right? That the company provided to 10 sales staff member, with each of them receiving an annual amount, okay, of the allowance 4,200 ringgit. Okay, we know that entertainment allowance is entertainment expenses, revenue expenditure that satisfied section 33 subsection 1. But allowances, entertainment allowance listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Even though entertainment allowance is part of entertainment expenses satisfied section 33 subsection 1, but this type of entertainment expenses listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So when listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1 for the entertainment allowance, only allowed to deduct 50%. Another 50% is not allowed for the deduction. Okay, so how to make the adjustment? So the company or the question already said that each of one sales staff receive 4,200 ringgit. They have 10 sales staff. So times lah 10 sales staff and then time back 50% because 50% of this entertainment allowance that not allowed for the deduction. So how much is the amount here? Will be not allowed for deduction, so you have to add it back. Okay, right? So one sales staff receive 4,200 ringgit. They have 10 sales staff that the company paid the entertainment allowance. So 4,200 ringgit times 10, time back 50% because only 50% allowed for deduction. Another 50% not allowed for the deduction. So get the amount here, will be added back in the first column. Yes, you have anything? Okay, number 5.2. Number 5.3. Okay, the company made the contribution. Okay, the company made the contribution to the EPF involved of two parties. Okay, not two parties lah, not two categories. Right, the company made the contribution to the first group, 13% for the all employee. Another group, the company made the contribution to the directors, which is 20%. Okay, so you have to know that when the company make the contribution to the EPF, this is actually revenue expenditure. Okay, this is actually revenue expenditure allowed for deduction. But according to the specific section, section 34, subsection 4, the EPF only allowed to deduct up to 19%.
22.
Yes? Okay, allowed to deduct at 19%. Right? So we know that the company make the contribution to the two group of the employee. One is all the staff, normal staff, 13%. Okay? Two directors, the company contribute 20%. Okay, so there is no problem when the company contribute to the EPF for the all staff because the amount is below 19%. Okay, so the contribution of 13% for the all staff, no problem, allowed for deduction, so no adjustment needed. So we just record as a nil lah. Okay, you don't have to find the amount lah. Alright, you don't have to find the amount because we understood that the amount is allowed for the deduction. Okay, now we go for the contribution of the two directors. The contribution made by the company is 20%. Right, so according to the law of section 34 sub 4, alright, only 19% allowed for deduction. So 19% of the contribution to the director allowed for deduction. Okay, and then another 1%, okay, that the company make contribution become non-deductible. So when we want to make the adjustment, we only make the adjustment for the two directors not allowed for deduction. So how much is the amount that not allowed for deduction? The question already said that each of the director receive 300,000 ringgit of the salary. Okay, so you have 300,000 ringgit for one. So time lah two director. Then time back 1%. So you get the amount here. So how much is the amount? Then the amount will be added back. Because 1% of the contribution is exceed the limit that the government allow. So you added back 1% of the contribution to the EPF for the two directors. Okay, number 5, 3. Can? Okay, hello. Later on, I will share this one to you if you confusing. Okay, right? But so sorry, I cannot share the answer to you. It's not allowed by the university. Okay, that's why I only discuss to you and make the working for you so that you can try to prepare by yourself. If you not prepare the tax composition by yourself, you not try by yourself, I think you will have the difficulty in the exam later. Please try to do the question hands on. Okay, answer the question, not just looking at the transaction and then, oh, okay, I already know. No, you have to prepare full sets of the tax computation. Not only for the company, for the individual, for the partnership as well. You have to prepare. You have to try to prepare full set. Okay, right. Okay, that one is a settle, number 5. Okay, now we go for number 6. So number 6, we have administration expenses. You already deduct in Sochi, 456,000 ringgit. So we see the detail what we have in number 6. Okay, so the question listed to you, 616263. Okay, so since they already give it to you one by one, we have to check one by one lah. Okay, right. So each of the item in number 61, number 62, number 63 is different unless it's stated otherwise. Right, so number 61, the company spent 35,630 ringgit for its annual trip to the Sepang Gold Coast, inclusive of all employees and their families. Okay, so when the company make the annual trip or dinner ke, lunch ke for the staff that attended by all the staff. Yes, this is part of entertainment expenses for the leave passage benefit. And when the event attended by the staff and the staff can invite their family, this one we call as the yearly event. Can be called as a yearly event. When this is yearly event, these expenses not listed under section 39 subsection 1. So thus 35,000 ringgit, 630 ringgit that the company spent for the annual trip to the Sepang Gold Coast, 100% allowed for deduction. So no adjustment needed, we just record as a nil. For your information, Sepang Gold Coast is in Selangor, Malaysia. For those who are not Malaysia, Sepang Gold Coast is in Selangor, Malaysia. Okay, and then second item in number 6, the company spent for the holiday cost to Hong Kong for the company's director amounted to 12,600 ringgit. From this total 12,600 ringgit, 8,900 ringgit spent for the accommodation and the foods, and the balance from this amount is paid to the ticket cost. Okay, right? So when the company spend for the holiday package to the directors, this is also part of entertainment expenses actually. Okay, but this entertainment expenses for the leave passage benefit is not considered as a non-yearly event. Why? Because only attended by the certain staff, which is only directors. So automatically, this event is not yearly event. So when it's not yearly event, these expenses listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Okay, so for the non-yearly event, okay, only ticket cost is not allowed for the deduction. The accommodation and the food expenses that the company spend for the non-yearly event still allowed for the deduction. So now we already have the amount that the company spent for the holiday cost to Hong Kong, 12,600 ringgit. Okay, from this amount, 8,900 ringgit spent for the accommodation and the food, which is I mentioned just now, not listed under prohibited deduction. So the cost of the accommodation and the foods to the company's director still allowed for the deduction. So the amount don't have to make any more adjustment. We just record as a nil to present no further adjustment. Okay. However, for the ticket cost that the company spent for the holiday to the Hong Kong to the company's director need to be added back. So you have to find the amount lah, 12,600 ringgit minus 8,900 ringgit. So you get the ticket cost. So the ticket cost is listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So totally 100% of this item not allowed for deduction, added back the amount. Okay, number 6.2. Number 6.3. Okay, number 6.3. Right, the company paid for the traffic summon, 2,500 ringgit. And then 2,150 was used on the renewing the manufacturing license with the Ministry of the Investment, Trade and Industry meeting. So they have two items in number 6.3. One is a traffic summon, 2,500 ringgit, and then another one is the payment to renew the manufacturing license with the MITI. Okay, alright, number 6.3. So I think all of you know when the company paid for the traffic summon, this is not part of the production expenses. You are involving in the manufacturing of the contemporary furniture. Totally, traffic summon that you paid is not related to the production. Okay. Furthermore, you are breaking the law. Traffic summon, okay. So traffic summon, which means that you make a certain mistake. Not follow the rules of the police or something lah. Kan? So you are breaking the law. So of course, totally 100% the amount that you paid for the traffic summon, 2,500 ringgit not allowed for the deduction. You already deduct this amount in SOCI, but this amount is not allowed for deduction in the taxation. So plus that 2,500 ringgit. Another one item in number 6.3, you paid for the renewing the manufacturing license. Renewing. Okay, renewing. Alright, so renewing is a normal expenses lah. Kan, it's normal expenses. So 2,150 allowed for deduction. So no further adjustment needed. So we just record as a nil. Okay, number 6. Right, settled already. Number 6, done already. Okay, number 6 done. Right, so now we go for number 7. So what we have for number 7, Number 7 is professional expenses. The company incurred 48,437,000 ringgit. Okay, the company already deduct this amount in arriving of net profit before taxation ayah. Okay, hold on now. Okay, number 7, we have the professional cost. Okay, professional cost or professional expenses. So in the total of professional cost, the company make a payment of 6,870 to a tax agent for the preparation and submission of the income tax return to the Inland Revenue Board. Okay. Additionally, the company also make a payment 10,340 for the secretarial fee. From this secretarial fee, 2,670 is make the payment for the secretarial fee specifically to the stamp duty to increase the share capital. Okay, so they have 3 payment actually, but they combine as a 2 payment. One is the secretarial fee. Okay, another one is a tax agent amount. Okay, so the company make the payment for the secretarial fees, totaling 10,340. From this amount, the company make the payment of the secretarial fee related to the stamp duty to increase the share capital, 2,670 ringgit. Okay, and the balance here is for the stamp duty for the general expenses. Okay, so now how much is actually the amount of the stamp duty for the general? Deduct je lah, 10,340 minus 2,670. So you have 7,670. Okay, we have 7,8. Okay, you have 7,670. Okay, now we settle one by one. Okay, we settle for the stamp duty to increase the share capital. So you have the key point there already. You paid the stamp duty to increase the share capital. So this is a totally capital expenditure, right? So it's not listed in any of specific section. So we can conclude that 2,670 is not allowed for deduction in the taxation. So we pass back 2,670. Okay, and then right, so for another transaction, we have the secretarial fee for the stamp duty, general stamp duty. Yeah. Okay, so right, so you already calculate just now. We have 7,670. Okay, and according to the public ruling, new public ruling. Okay, new public ruling. PUA 162/2020. You can check back in lecture 8. Okay, the payment of the secretarial fee. Okay, secretarial fee for the general, plus with the tax agent. Okay, secretarial fee for general plus the tax agent allowed for deduction if the amount not exceed 15,000 ringgit. Okay, not exceed 15,000 ringgit. Right? So, you total up lah the amount of the stamp duty, which is for the secretarial fee general expenses, 7,670 plus the tax agent amount, you will get 414,540. And the rule said that, okay, the payment of the stamp duty, okay, for the general secretarial fee or any payment of the secretarial fee, which is general transaction, okay, which is not capital expenditure, which if you plus with a tax agent allowed for deduction up to 15,000 ringgit. Okay, according to the PUA 162/2020. So now the payment of these two amount is only 14,540, which is lesser than 15,000 ringgit. So of course the amount is totally all allowed for the deduction. So we just require as a nil to present that all amount allowed for deduction for the secretarial fee general plus tax agent fee. Okay, now that's number 7. Right? Okay, professional fee. Number 8. We go for number 8. What we have number 8? Okay, I cannot scroll. Number 8. Hold on guys. It's a stuck. Internet stuck. Is it you can see anything in the screen? Okay, not click anything right now. Okay, right. So number 8. Okay, so number 8 we have marketing expenses. So marketing expenses, the company deduct in Sochi 385,000 ringgit. So we see number 8 what the company and the question listed to you. So marketing cost included 3,200 ringgit used to purchase a gift for their supplier to express gratitude to maintain the positive relationship, business relationship. So when the company purchase the gift for their supplier, this is a part of entertainment expenses. Revenue expenditure satisfied section 33 subsection 1. But this item or these types of entertainment expenses is listed under prohibited deduction. The key point is there already. When it's involved in supplier, of course, is listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So the amount that the company spent for the gift 3,200 ringgit only allowed to deduct 50%. Another 50% is not allowed for the deduction. So 3,200 ringgit times 50%, how much is the amount? The amount will be added back. Okay, right. Now we go for number 9. Okay, number 9 we have general expenses or general cost. 54874. You have this amount given 54874. Okay, right. And then number 9. Okay, so they said that consisted. What is the difference between when the question stated that included and consisted? Consisted, which means that the amount that given, alright, total come from the transaction. Okay, right. Let's example when you see number 8 and number 9, what is the difference? Okay, marketing cost. Okay, I repeat. So number 8 just now. Okay, number 8 just now. Okay, we go number 8 just now. Number 8 just now. In the Sochi, we have 539,385. Okay, so this is the total of the marketing cost. Okay, marketing cost just now, 5 marketing cost, we have 539,385. Okay, so this is what appear in the Sochi. And in Sochi, so this is appear. Included, which means that 2,000 ringgit included in the total of the amount that appear in Sochi. 3,200 ringgit included in the total of 539,385,000 ringgit. Okay, so what is the difference between consisted or comprised? Okay, so we look at the general cost. General cost, Yeah, I don't know. After COVID-19, after MCO, the internet is very bad. Okay, right. So in the Sochi, for the general cost, it's given that general cost is 54874. So this is appear in the Sochi as a general cost. This is marketing cost. This is general cost. In Sochi, this is what appear. Consisted, which means that 54874 comprised of three items: bad debt written off, bad debt recovery, and specific provision for the doubtful debt. When you total up all the amount, okay, total you get 54874. Okay, that's the difference between included and the consistent. Included, only certain item show in the notes to the account, which is you already include in the Sochi. Comprise, which means that all the item that listed in the item, when you total up, you get back the amount of the 54,874. Okay, that's the difference between included and comprises. Okay, or consisted lah. Okay, alright. So we go for the number 9. So the amount in Sochi that you already record, 54874. From this amount, okay, you have three items. Bad debt written off, 5,100 ringgit. Bad debt recovery, 2,400 ringgit. And specific provision, which is the remaining amount. Okay, so you already have bad debt written off, 5,100 ringgit. Bad debt recovery, 2,400 ringgit. So automatically you can find the specific provision amount. So how much is actually the specific provision amount? Anyone can get the specific provision amount? Can anyone can get the amount? Anyone can get? You should get 5 2 each. Okay, right. Okay, so you should get the specific provision amount. Hey, where is no function? Sorry guys, the internet is very bad, so I cannot write anything. It's stuck. Okay, right. So specific provision, you should get 52,174,000 ringgit. Okay, why you should get this amount? Because you have bad debt recovery, okay, which is the revenue. Bad debt written off, is an expenses. Okay, bad debt recovery is a revenue. Specific provision is also expenses. Okay, so the difference here is only bad debt recovery lah, which is the revenue. That's why I put the column there to represent that this item is not similar with the expenses. So when you plus back the amount or minus back the amount, you should get the specific provision lah. Okay, right. So bad debt written off, which is expenses related to the production. So we know that this is the revenue expenditure. Oh, what happened here? Right. So bad debt written off is expenses, specifically is revenue expenditure. So in the taxation, revenue expenditure, if not listed in any specific section, section 39, subsection 1, that's allowed for the deduction. So no adjustment needed, we just record as a nil, as this amount is already appear in the SOCI. But that recovery is a revenue, so this is revenue receipt. Okay, suddenly the debtors coming back and make you the payment. Recover. So this one is a revenue received subject to the tax, but this item is already appear in SOCI, so no further adjustment needed. Okay, so specific provision, we have the word there, provision. So I said before, if you have the word provision, we know that this is only estimated amount, but this specific provision is listed under specific section, section 34, subsection 2, special section. So thus 52,174,000 ringgit allowed for the deduction. So no further adjustment, as this amount is also appear in the SOCI. Okay, and then number 10. We go for number 10. What we have for number 10? Number 10, we have sundry expenses, 287,430. Okay, number 10, right? So number 10, we have just now 287, okay, 430, right? So they say that included in the sundry expenses, which means that when you total up the amount, you cannot get the amount of 287,430 ringgit because they only listed certain item only. Okay, so sundry expenses, you have three item. Okay, three item, number 10.1, number 10.2, number 10.3. So when you total up all number 10.1, number 10.2, number 10.3, you cannot get the total amount of 287,430 ringgit because the item only given you a certain amount. Right, compare with number 9, they give you total amount and all the transaction that listed in number 9, when you total up, you get back the amount 54,874,000 ringgit. Okay, so difference between included and the consisted. Okay, right. So number 10.1. We go for number 10.1 first. Right. So number 10.1 identified listed to you the amount that the company spent for 3,200 ringgit to repainting the childcare center registered with the Department of the Social Welfare. Repainting. You repainting the childcare center. When you repainting the childcare center, you added the value to the existing asset. You want to make the building more attractive. Okay, so this is added value to the existing asset. So repainting of the childcare center considered as a capital expenditure. So when it's capital expenditure and not listed in specific section, totally 3,200 ringgit not allowed for deduction. We have to add it back. Okay, number 10.1. Okay, number 10.2 is donation. Okay, donation. As mentioned in the class, donation is not part of the trading transaction. This is capital expenditure, totally not allowed for deduction. But since the government want to encourage the company to make a donation to help the institution, charitable institution, so the government allowed to deduct either at the adjusted business income level according to the section 34 sub 6 or allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level according to the section 44. Okay, but you have to know lah where the company make the donation to know whether allowed to deduct at the adjusted business income level, section 34 sub C, or allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level according to the section 44. So now we look at where the company make the donation. So number 10.2, the company make the donation to the approved institution. When the company make to the approved institution, right, so automatically we know that this donation is only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level. When the company make the donation to the approved institution, the donation only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level according to the section 44 subsection 6. Now, we make the adjustment at the adjusted business income level. So automatically at the adjusted income level, all type of donation not allowed for the deduction. So now if you see that the company make donation 14,000 ringgit to the approved charitable institution, 14,000, right? So 8,000 ringgit the company make in the cash, okay, which means that another 6,000 ringgit is in kind, kan? But we know that, okay, when the company make donation to the approved institution, you are only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level. Automatically, at the adjusted business income level, all 14,000 ringgit not allowed for the deduction. Okay, not allowed for the deduction. Okay, so we added back all the amount of 14,000 ringgit in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, at the aggregate income level, this donation will be appear once again. Now we have to check the types of donation. Okay, at the aggregate income level, we will check the types of the donation. Right, so you have to know lah how much you donate to the cash, how much you donate to the in kind. So, in the question, okay, it's already mentioned that the company make donation for the cash donation 8,000 ringgit and the remaining amount is 6,000 ringgit which is in kind. So 2,000 ringgit each. So the company make the donation of the 3 dining set. So 2,000 times 3, 6,000 lah. And to prove back to you. Right. So now we know that in kind donation 6,000, cash donation 8,000 ringgit. So at the aggregate income level, yes, the donation is allowed for deduction, but only the cash donation. In-kind donation is still not allowed for deduction. So, at the aggregate income level, since it's not allowed for deduction, you have to record as a nil to present that not allowed for deduction. Okay, at aggregate income level, right, this donation, in-kind donation, not allowed for deduction, so we have to record as a nil. Okay, meanwhile, cash donation, yes, allowed for deduction, but you have to check whether the amount that the company make the cash donation, 8,000 ringgit, is exceed 10% of the aggregate income or not. If lesser than 10% of aggregate income, then allowed for deduction. If 8,000 ringgit higher than 10% of the aggregate income, then the amount will have a restriction. Okay, we'll have a restriction up to the 10% of the aggregate income. Okay, that one's a donation to the approved institution. Only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level. So when you prepare the adjustment at the adjusted business income level, totally not allowed for deduction, added back 14,000 ringgit, and it will be appear again in the aggregate income level. At the aggregate income level, you have to check lah the types of donation. If in kind, totally not allowed for deduction, we just record as a nil to present that not allowed for deduction. Cash donation, yes, allowed for deduction, but only limit to 10% of the aggregate income. So you have to compare lah, donation 8,000 ringgit, higher or lesser than 10% of aggregate income. Is 8,000 ringgit lesser than 10% of aggregate income? So you can deduct all at 8,000 ringgit. Is 8,000 ringgit higher than 10% of aggregate income? So the amount only limit to 10% of the aggregate income. Okay, that was a donation for the approved donation. So number 10.3. Okay, number 10.3, the company make a sponsorship 75,000 ringgit for the arts for the all season 2023 to support the locals art, heritage and culture with approval from the Ministry of the Finance. Okay, same like the donation, sponsorship not related to the production of the manufacturing contemporary furniture. Totally sponsorship here, not related to your production at all. So the item is supposedly not allowed for deduction, but since the government want to encourage the company to involve in the society, so the sponsorship for the local art will be listed under specific section 34 sub 6 sub K. So the amount allowed for deduction up to 700,000 ringgit. How much the company make the donation? Make the sponsorship? 75,000 ringgit. How much is the limit? 700,000 ringgit. Is the amount allowed for reduction? Yes, totally allowed for reduction lah, because you only sponsor 75,000 ringgit. The limitation is up to 700,000 ringgit. So all the amount that you sponsor to the arts for all season 2023 allowed for the deduction. So at the adjusted business income level, the amount recorded as a nil to present that no further adjustment, as this amount 75,000 ringgit already appear in the SOCI. Okay, number 10.3. Now we go for number 10 and number 11. Yeah, hold on guys. Okay, number 11. Go for number 11. So number 11, we have lease charges. So lease charges, the company deduct in the SOCI 19,680. So we check the detail in number 11, what the company paid for the lease charges. Okay, so how much is the amount that the company made for the lease charges? Lease charges comprise of the lease rental payment for the director's new vehicle, which has been leased since 1st March 2021. Total cost amounted to 152,860 ringgit with a monthly rental of 1,640. Okay, so lease charges, if the company paid for the rental payment where the motor vehicle that the company paid is not for the commercial transportation, automatically listed in the prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Allowed for deduction but have limitation. Okay, how we know that this motor vehicle is not licensed for the commercial vehicle? The company purchased the director's new vehicle. Director's new vehicle, of course this vehicle is not licensed for the commercial vehicle lah. Of course the director vehicle you not used to transport your product, you not used to transport the passenger, kan? Of course the director will use to go to the office, from the home go to office. Of course this director's vehicle is considered as a non-commercial vehicle. Okay, so when the company paid for the lease payment, okay, for the director's new vehicle, this is non-commercial vehicle listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Allowed for deduction but restricted to the certain amount. Kan? So if you look at back in lecture 8, if the cost of the new motor vehicle, higher than 150,000 ringgit, so the company allowed to deduct the rental payment on the lease charges up to 50,000 ringgit. Okay, if the cost of new motor vehicle lesser than 150,000 ringgit, so the deduction allowed up to 100,000 ringgit. Okay, right? So now why I said that this company only allowed to deduct 50,000 ringgit, because the cost of the motor vehicle, the new motor vehicle, is 152,860,000 ringgit. So exceed 150,000 ringgit. That's why the company only allowed to deduct the rental payment up to 50,000 ringgit. If the cost of the new motor vehicle lesser than 150,000 ringgit, so the rental payment allowed to deduct up to 100,000 ringgit. So now the question here, how much is actually the company already make the payment for the lease rental? The company start make the payment for the lease rental since 1st March 2021 with the monthly rental agreed is 1,640. So which means that they start make a payment for the lease rental starting on year assessment 2021. Okay, so 1,640 times 10 months. Why 10 months? Start paid first March kan? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December up to the accounting period ended on 2021. So time lah 10 months, they paid 16,400 ringgit already. Okay, 2022 still make a payment. The company still make a payment because it's not stated anything in the question that the company stop payment. So which means that starting from 1st March 2021, they still paid the payment. So 2022 they paid full year, okay, for 12 months, 19,680. Year assessment 2023 also made a payment 12 month, okay, so total 19,680. So that's why this amount 19,680, okay. Ayah, internet lah. Okay, sorry ya, internet pun so slow. Okay, that's why lah, I just said lah. So that's why when you see in the Soci, 19,680 ringgit appear in the Soci. So this is what you paid during the period for the lease rental for the director's new vehicle. Okay, right. So for the 2023, the company paid for 12 months. So 19,680 ringgit here. Okay, 19,680 ringgit here. You can see back in the Soci. So this is what the amount appear in the Soci. Sama, right? 19,680. Okay, to show that what you calculate just now is correct lah. Okay, but now that's not a question. Okay, we're not finished yet. Okay, so now after you know already the payment that the company make for the lease rental for the year. So now we are in the year 2023. So we just total up lah up to the year assessment 2023. So total of the accumulated rental payment into charge. Okay, rental charges is 55,760. So according to the section 39 subsection 1 just now, okay, the limitation of the amount that allowed for reduction is up to 50,000 ringgit. You already made a payment 55,760, but the limitation in the section 39 section 1 up to 50,000 ringgit. So how much is not allowed for reduction? So 5760 lah will be added back the amount. Okay, right? So this is the last semester question. Okay, so majority last semester totally wrong. I already show how to calculate this in the tutorial class. But I think maybe some of you forget how to calculate. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is it can rub it? Yeah. Okay, never mind lah. Right. Okay, so non-deductible item. Yeah, 5760 will be added back the amount. Okay, so after you make all the adjustment, don't forget to record the capital allowance after you get the adjusted business income amount. Minus the capital allowance, you already get 0.5 mark. If you forget to deduct the capital allowance, so you lost 0.5 mark lah. Okay, so for the question 1A, section A, question number 1A, so this is answer. Chargeable income, 98,000 ringgit. Okay, income tax payable, 190,200,000 ringgit. So please try to do the question. Please try to do the question, full sets of the question, so that you can know how to answer the question. Okay. When I'm marking, actually I already know lah who can pass, who cannot pass, because I already know that whether you try or not to do the past year question. I already know that whether you try to do the tutorial question. Okay, if you try to do the tutorial question, if you try past year question, I already know your style of writing. If you not even try one set of the question, whether in the tutorial or in the past year question, I already know lah. I already expect lah whether you can pass or not. So please, if you want to pass, try to answer the question. Okay, try to answer the question so that you can know where you make a mistake. You still have a lot of time. Our exam is on October, right? Okay, so please try to make the full sets of the calculation lah. What happened this one? Okay, right. So that one is a section A, question number 1A. Question number 1B, you have to explain the treatment. Okay, so remember, explain the treatment here is exactly similar with the tutorial 7 and tutorial 8. Explain the treatment. Okay, for note number 10 and note number 11. Note number 10 is about the 10 just now what? Sundry expenses, while for the 11 is the lease rental. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you have to explain the treatment, which means that you just give it here lah, right? So explain the treatment, you have to identify whether the item is revenue or expenses. Okay, if revenue, item either revenue received or capital received. So if revenue received, basically taxable. If capital received, basically non-taxable lah. But some of the item you have to check lah whether it's listed under specific section or depend on the situation. So expenses basically will be either revenue expenditure or capital expenditure. But for the expenditure kan, we have the deduction level, deduction, deductible, 100% allowed for deduction, only only 50% allowed for deduction. Internet pun very bad internet ni. Okay, once again right here. Okay, revenue, you have revenue receipt or capital receipt. So basically revenue receipt is taxable, capital receipt is non-taxable lah. Okay, but still we have to check certain condition also. Something like realized, unrealized also you have to check lah. Alright, so expenses, yeah, of course, it's divided into revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. But expenditure kan, you have level of deduction, 100% deductible, only 50% deductible, okay, double deduction, and then not allowed for deduction. Okay, so it's not that you have to explain this one, but you have to explain number 10 and number 11 information. Yeah. I hate this. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, guys. Wait for a while until it's recovered. Sorry, it's not under my control. Okay. Alright. So I think I don't want to write it again just now. So maybe you can watch back the video lah later. Right. So explain the treatment. You have to identify first lah whether the item is revenue or expenditure. If revenue, check lah whether the revenue is a revenue receipt or capital receipt. Same goes to the expenditure, either revenue expenditure or capital expenditure. Then check lah whether it's taxable or non-taxable, whether deductible or non-deductible. Right? So what you have to explain here for number 10 and number 11, you have to explain lah what is actually example lah sundry expenses. Okay. Number 10 one, repainting of childcare center. Repainting of the childcare center is what? Capital expenditure. Why is capital expenditure? Because you added the value to the existing asset. So it's not allowed for deduction. So this is how you explain lah. Okay. So for number 10 2, example, donation. So donation, alright, totally not allowed for deduction. Okay, because the donation is not related to the production. However, donation can deduct according to the either section 44 or section 34. Okay, at which level? So you have to explain lah. Okay, so for this donation to the approved institution, only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level. Okay, but only the cash donation allowed for deduction. In-kind donation is not allowed for deduction. Cash allowed for deduction, but up to 10% of the aggregate income. Sponsorship, so explain lah. Same, sponsorship is not part of the trading transaction. Supposedly not allowed for deduction, but listed under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub K. So allowed for deduction, but up to 700,000 ringgit. So this is how you explain lah. Okay, and then lease rental just now, you have to explain what is the commercial and non-commercial transportation. Okay, it's not okay again, right? And then you have to inform that when the company paid for the motor vehicle, that not for the commercial vehicle, so listed under prohibited deduction section 39 section 1, with the limitation depend on the cost of the new motor vehicle, either 50,000 or 100,000 ringgit. So you have to show lah the calculation here like this to prove your answer. It's not that simply you say deductible, non-deductible. No, you have to show the calculation to prove your answer. This is what the meaning of the explanation. Okay, explain the statement, you have to prove your calculation. Okay, especially for the lease rental lah. Okay, or lease charges. So that's how you answer the section A, question number 1A and question number 1B. Okay, that one is for May 2024. Okay, last semester. Okay, previous semester. Okay, this is the latest one lah. Okay, if you can answer all of this, I believe that you can pass section A lah. Section B, if you also can answer, then supposedly pass lah the subject. Okay, alright. So that's why I said try to answer the question until you get the amount. Okay, now we're done for the May 2024. Is it we have a time? So I just show the working only for the May 2023. Last year, January semester. Okay, I just show the transaction only. Okay, this one is a last year. Okay, May 2023. Last year, January semester. Okay, alright. So to inform to you that last year year assessment is up to year assessment 2022, but supposedly there is no much different lah. So far 2022 and 2023 not much different. 2024 next year they have differences because they already changed certain amount. So far 2022 and 2023 not much different. Okay, we can see back here. Okay, if you not notice it, I show it for you. This one is year based on the year assessment 2022. This one is a base year 2023. Okay, alright. So most of the item same, but for the income tax company ni have a different lah a little bit. Okay, so this table, this table have a differences a little bit. This one and this one pun have a different tax rate. Okay, for the company pun you can see here like this, the company like this, different lah. Not much different, tapi have a different. Okay, so when you answer the question for the May 2023, you must check the table in the same year. Don't check when you answer the May past year, May 2023 past year, you check the table for 2023. Cannot lah, so the answer will be different lah. Because when you prepare the taxation, you have to prepare the current year assessment. Okay, so your final letter will be based on year assessment 2023. So the table exactly what similar in May 2024 lah. Okay, but I said that when you try to make the exercise, okay, May 2023, please refer to your table, especially for the tax rate here. Okay, because it's a little bit different lah. Alright, okay. Okay, so we go for May 2023. I just go through je lah because we don't have much time already. Okay. So sad lah. I actually I don't know where I have to sit to stay to do the online class at Utah. The internet connection is bad. At my home also bad connection. So I don't know actually. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I do in online class because I want to record, because basically student will refer back to the recording video when they try to answer past year question. So that's why I want to record. That's why I do online class for this week. And for those who not realize that certain topic for the tutorial class, I record the session. Yeah. For those who not realize that, okay, you can check in the channel of tutorial recording. Okay, in case that you want to check the item. Okay, I don't know whether I can display or not this one. Okay, hold on guys. I'm waiting for the file to be ready to open. Actually open already, but some of the pages not appear here. Yes, but you ask cannot see here. As I mentioned in the class earlier lah, the topic that I mentioned earlier in the class. I think when you answer the past year question, you already know which topic actually. Okay, alright, so it already appeared. So I just show not directly lah. Still stuck. Okay, so this question, May 2023, is actually the company section A. Section A is about the company name Vuitton Group. Okay, Sdn Bhd. Right, so the accounting period also normal according to the calendar year. If you can refer to your past year question, so you can refer. Okay, so hold on guys. Don't know what happened. Okay, right. So Vuitton Group Sdn Bhd, they are producing apparel, footwear and accessory. Accounting period normal, Sochi. is given to you. All the notes is listed there, 1 until 11. So I think I will post this one later in the Microsoft Teams, so maybe you can check lah. Alright, so I already make the working there, so maybe you can check and try to answer the question. Okay, so number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this one is rental. Yes, rental and depreciation. And number 9 is bad and doubtful debts. Number 10, number 11, number 12, and this is chargeable income. I don't give any income tax payable because 805,000 ringgit chargeable income will be based on the tax rate for this period. Okay, so I think for 2022 year assessment 2022 for the past year question May 2023, I think you don't have to find the income tax payable lah for the company because the tax rate is already different. So it's enough for you when you get the chargeable income. So I think it's enough lah for the chargeable income for the tax computation for the section A for the May 2023. Okay, because the tax rate is a different little bit for 2022 and 2023. Okay, so 1B, explain the treatment for the note 11. Okay, so you have 1, 2. Okay, so the portion is different lah. So last SEM 32, right? 32 for the calculation and another 8 mark is for the explanation. So last year, the calculation is 35 mark. The explanation for the note number 11 is 5 mark, total 40. Okay, so I think I cannot proceed anymore because it's already 4:45 p.m. already. Okay, so I will post this one in the Microsoft Team for the whole version of the working lah. So next week. Okay, next week, I will discuss section B, especially for the question related to the tax computation for the partnership. I believe that most of the student will answer the partnership tax computation. Okay, for the same past year question, May 2023 and May 2024. If we can cover two, we can cover two lah. If only one, then I will show only one lah. Okay, so next week I will proceed with the section B, past year question, same past year question, May 2023 and May 2024, but I'm more focused on tax computation for the partnership because I believe that most of you will answer partnership. And I also will show a little bit lah how to calculate for the capital allowance. Okay, in case lah some of you want to answer the capital allowance. For the capital allowance pun, I will cover in the tutorial class this week. Okay, so maybe you can relate back lah. Okay, right. So I think I stop until here. I cannot proceed anymore because it's already near the end of the class. So I will sharing later lah this one. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So any question before you go? Before I provide to you the QR. The person that I call you to come later, please come to meet me today. Right, if no question, no question, then I think I stop until here. Okay, please scan your attendance. Next week's totally online. This week, tutorial also online. Tomorrow class, Wednesday all online. Yeah, yes, Vinosha? Yes.
I have the question regarding note number 1 and note number 2.
Note number 1, number 2 for the May?
For the May 2024.
May 2024.
Yeah. I already have the 2 questions on this. I do not understand. The first one, the one that I don't understand is they mentioned that it's not being recorded or it's still to record, right? It means the answer is right under the plus column, right? the amount that to write that add that in the plus column that B.
Come again. Number one. Okay.
If the question mentioned that it failed to enter or failed to record amount, right?
Now I cannot hear actually the sounds is not okay. Come again. Or
Hello,
you
Miss, can
hello. Or you can type your question in the chat box. I read it. Can?
understand.
Can. Because the sound is not clear. Hold on. Yeah, I answer the question from Wong Chu Hui first. Double confirm tomorrow become online class. Yes, tomorrow is all online class. The morning session, the evening session, all online. Okay, so Vinosha question just now. Note number 1 for the May 2024. Okay. If the question mentioned that the amount is not recorded, mean have to add it back in the account in the plus column. It's actually depend on the transaction. If not recorded, which means that you not yet added or you not yet minus in the SOCI. You have to check whether the item is revenue or the item is expenses. If item is revenue, which means that you not added yet in the SOCI. So you have to plus. So similar with the question number 1. Okay, number 1, you receive the revenue 452,950 is revenue, but this amount is not yet added in the total of the sales, right? So this is a sale revenue. Supposedly you record plus you added the amount, right? But since this is a new transaction, so that's why you have to plus the amount. Okay, for question number 2, insurance paid. You already make a payment, but you not record in the SOCI. Paid, which means the expenses. It's supposedly in SOCI, you minus. When you paid, you minus lah. So since this amount is not yet recorded, so you have to minus the amount in the minus column. 79430. Depend on the transaction. It's not that exactly you have to plus all the amount you have to plus, all the amount you have to all the amount you have to plus. You have to check the item. Revenue ke expenses. If revenue, once again I repeat, if revenue, if not yet added in the amount, yes, you have to record as a new plus. If expenses, not yet minus in SOCI, you have to record in the minus column the amount. Okay, Binosha, can? If already record, okay, I show you the slide. Okay, if you already record the transaction, where is it? Okay, if you already record the transaction, okay, the amount is already appear in SOCI. Okay, the amount is already appear in SOCI, so which means that you already record. So we record in minus column, we record as a nil. Okay, and then if the expenses, okay, if the expenses amount, okay, right, already minus in SOCI, so the item you record in the plus column with the nil. If no adjustment, the expenses recorded in plus column nil, and the revenue in minus column nil. Yes, supposedly lah if no adjustment, but you have to check as well whether the item tu fulfill the condition or not, like this one. Okay, like I teach before. Alright, so if revenue, supposedly when you make the adjustment in the minus column lah. If no adjustment, nil in the minus column. If the expenses, if no adjustment, yes in the plus column. Supposedly. Tapi you have to check as well whether any other circumstances ke. So far, yes. Like this lah. Okay, any other question before we go? Try to answer the question. If you have any problem, you take a picture or screen cap your answer and then post in the Microsoft team to the chat box lah, personal chat box lah. Because I cannot edit your documents the file I cannot edit. So that's why I ask you to capture the answer. Take the picture ke, screen cap ke, whatever lah. Try answer first and then you post to the chat box Microsoft team. If you have any problem or you cannot get the amount that I mentioned just now. Okay, try to do May 2024 first and then try to do May 2023. Okay, right. So I think that's all for today. I will post later the working version. Maybe you want to refer back. Alright, so before you go, please scan your attendance. Today is 10. So next week, online. Okay. Tomorrow, tutorial class also all online. Because I want to record it. Okay, so see you next week. Bye guys. Thank you. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Hold on.